Hi guys, welcome to Theory Thursday, and today we're talking about the circle of fifths. Up until this point, we talked about key signatures, how to find them, how they're useful, major keys and minor keys, and now we're going to talk about a useful tool to organize all of that information into one place. I'm not going to go over the entire circle of fifths, but I'm going to go over how you can start to build your own circle of fifths, and I'm going to leave it up to you to finish the pattern. Because I believe the best way to learn is by doing it yourself. Or you can just Google the circle of fifths and notice the relationships. But I think filling in the rest of it on your own will help solidify the information further into your brain. Alright, and also in this video, we're not going to go into an advanced discussion of the circle of fifths, but if you would like to see that video, leave a comment below, and I'll gladly make it. So let's get started. So the circle of fifths is just a representation of the major keys and the minor keys and their relationship to one another. So we'll start, as always, with C major, which is no sharps, no flats. We have our circle. I wrote my order of sharps, my order of flats as a reminder, and always at the top is going to be C major, which has no sharps, no flats. Now we have to figure out its related key. And if you remember from the last video, it's going to be 3 letter names, or the minor third relationship, which is 3 half steps. So we go C, B, A, which is 3, and then we have to make sure that it's a minor third. And you can do that using a piano, or you can visualize it in your brain. So if we go down, C, so B would be 1, B flat would be 2, A would be 3. So A minor. Okay, and then we're going to go this side, my right side of the circle is going to be sharps. My left side of the circle is going to be flats. And it just follows the orders of sharps and flats. So the next one, we're going to go 1 sharp. And to figure out what that is, 1 sharp is going to be an F sharp. We go up a half step, which is G. So the key of 1 sharp is G. And then we need to find the minor key. So G, F, E. And then we got to make sure that that relationship is a minor third. So F sharp, F, E. And it is. So E minor is 1 sharp. So a couple things to notice here that's going to continue the pattern. C to G, let's count those letter names. C, D, E, F, G. 5. So this way, the circle is going to go in fifths. And that's why we call it the circle of fifths. Let's do another sharp key example. We'll do 2 sharps. Just go right down the line. So we write 2 sharps. I'm abbreviating it. 2 sharps, we look at our sharps. It's going to be F sharps and C sharps. C sharp is the last sharp in the order of sharps, and then you go up a half step, which is D. Or you can look at your order of sharps and flats, goes G to D, or you can notice the relationship, G, A, B, C, and D. Same thing here. Let's figure out our minor key, which would be down 3 letter names, D, C, and B. And then make sure it's 3 half steps, which would be C sharp, C, B. So B minor would be that associated key. Now we also got to notice this relationship for the minor keys. So A to E is A, B, C, D, E, a fifth. E to B is E, F, G, A, B, a fifth. So let's just base that off fifths, see what happens. So we'll write 3 sharps. We'll just ignore the sharps for a second and say, okay, well, if these are all traveling in fifths, then that D is going to go to D, E, F, G, A. It's going to go to some kind of A key. And we can go B, C, D, E, F, and say F minor. By the way, when I write a line and say F and put a line next to it minor, that means minor. So let's just double check our work. We did it in fifths, but let's double check our work. 3 sharps is F sharp, C sharp, G sharp. Go up a half step from G sharp, which is A, so that's correct. And then to find the F minor, we go down 3 letter names. So if we remember, it goes A, and then G, and then F. So yep, we're getting there, and then we just double check the half steps for that minor third relationship. So if we look at A on a keyboard, and we go count down 3 half steps, 1, 2, 3, it leads to F sharp, which is that minor third. So this is not actually F minor, it's F sharp minor. And that's why it's important to double check your work. And so that's, you would keep going until you finish all the sharps. And then on the left side, we're going to take a look. So this is C, G, D, A. Well, this is probably going to be an F. And that is going to be 1 flat. Oops. For our F major key. 1 flat. And that's just something you have to memorize. Like C major is no sharps or flats, F major is 1 flat. And then let's take a look at the minor key for F. So we go down 3 letter names. So it'd be F, E, D. So some kind of D minor. And then we just make sure that the half steps are 3 half steps with that minor third relationship. So we go to F, count down 1, 2, 3 is D. So it's D minor. Alright, now we'll go to 2 flats. And remember how our flats work, they work a little bit different. So you go second to last flat and that's your key. So for 2 flats, you have a B flat and an E flat. So B flat is going to be the major key. Now let's look at some relationships before we continue on. Let's look at F to B. F, G, A, B. That's a 4th, not a 5th. This side of the circle of fifths goes in 4ths. And we can also call this the circle of 4ths. So that being said, let's figure out our minor key without thinking about the minor third relationship. So let's just go down a 4th from D. D, E, F, G. So this is going to be some type of G minor. Now, is that correct? Well, let's make sure our letter names first. We go down B, A, G. So some kind of G. So that holds up. Now let's think about our piano in that minor third relationship. So if we have a B flat, we're going to count down 3 half steps. 1, 2, 3, which is G minor, which is correct. And make sure you double check your work when you're building the circle of fifths, just because of circumstances like the F sharp minor. So let's do one more example. We'll do 3 flats. So let's just do it based off the idea that it's in 4ths. So B, C, D, E. And it's probably an E flat because we're talking about flat keys. And if we look at the order of flats, E is after B. So we're going to just use some logical reasoning to say it's probably going to be an E flat. And then let's go down a 4th, G, A, B, C. Some kind of C minor. And let's double check our work. So we have 3 flats. We have B flats, E flats, and A flats. We go down to the second to last flat, which is an E flat, which gets us our key. So that holds up. Now let's think about the relationship of E flat to C. We have to go down 3 letter names. So E, D, and C. So some kind of C, so that holds up. Then we count our half steps from E flat. So we go down to D, C sharp, C. And it holds up. C minor. And you would keep going around till you get all of your flats, all of your sharps, following this pattern. And that's a breakdown of how to look at and build the circle of fifths. Now, as I said, you can get into a more advanced discussion of the circle of fifths, how it relates to harmony in different ways, some of the history behind it, how it can be a useful tool composing. I'm not going to do that in this video, as this series is for beginners. If you would like to see that video, please let me know. Alright guys, I hope this was helpful for those of you out there that are learning this for the first time. Thank you for joining me, and I'll see you next week.